The next one here is Proud Mary. Now, I've done this before, but I've done a much more upbeat one, which I think was like the Ike and Tina Turner one, which is the kind of fast one, or it might be in a mashup of a few different versions, I can't really remember. But this one is the Creedence Clearwater Revival one. We're playing this in D, but this one, the recording I'm going from is slightly out of tune, so this is why it's good to have a fixed bridge when you're learning songs, particularly kind of older ones like this. And the way I'm going to tune it is, I know this is in D, I know the first chord is meant to be a D, so I'm going to play my D string. I'm going to play the song in the background, which is through my earphone, and I'm just going to tune to that. I know I need to go down a bit, probably not too much, won't be as much as a tone. So I'm going to play that. Right. So I'm playing that, and that sounds in tune with the song. So I'm just going to tune my guitar to the string. I'm going to go from the A, the 5th fret, tune that, tune downward, and tune upward, and I'll meet you back when I've done that. Right, so what I ended up doing there was actually using a tuner. I tuned the D and then looked how far off the centre it was, and then tuned the other strings accordingly. They are slipping a little bit because my guitar is not used to this tension, and admittedly they are quite old strings. But hopefully it'll be enough for the purposes of this video. So it starts off with a C to an A. I might just play those as power chords, but that's really easily changed, so I'm not going to worry about that too much, if at all. And then we've got this kind of cool riff, the descending thing. So I'm intentionally playing this open G because I don't really like the sound of the bar chords going down. I think that third sounds a bit too, doesn't make it quite as heavy. I want to give it a little bit of balls to this. I think I might consider doing for this song is going down to drop D and just playing those all power chords. But again, this is similar to the whammy pedal, so if there's a few songs I can get away with or that I should play in drop D, or put them together in the set, I'll do it. Otherwise, I'll make do, and I'm just going to play this D chord. I'll mute out this E string, and I'll play the A in the bass and the root. Yeah, I should say in the bass rather than the root, because the bass will be playing a D, and that'll kind of sound like this nice big, kind of fat, beefy chord there. The verse here is pretty straightforward. We're just vamping on a D. I'm going to play this. So if you think about your D kind of bar chord or that one, I'm just playing these 3 notes here. And occasionally I might go, so just adding this little move, but playing the full chord. Or this little thing, just as little fills to keep it interesting. So that hammer and this one, mix up between them, that kind of thing. So after that we've got a pretty straightforward, probably the chorus you'd call this bit, A to B minor. Now the weird thing is here, I'm sure the other version I played the chords follow the vocals a bit more, but they don't do this in this one, so again this is a mental note I'm going to have to make. We have this nice little fill. Again, I'm working these out because I kind of have a vocabulary for kind of music and stuff like that anyway. So when I heard that, I know I'm playing on a B, so the first note's going to be a B for the little riff we're doing. And then I kind of know what a sliding fourth thing sounds like because we're playing a fourth dyad. And then pulling it off. And then we're just kind of back to a D. So for this, what I might do is dig in a bit more because it's a bit more lively at this point, and I might add in some more, might make it busier, depending how playing the song. It's a good idea to have some contingency plans of things you could do to make it a bit more interesting. So I might do like, so just like a bit like Rock and Roll by Led Zeppelin or something like that. Just add in a bit more. It's a bit more interesting then. And then we got this really cool, which I think I played wrong. Yeah, I did. So it's, which again, this is a thing because I played guitar for quite a while. I could hear that, and I was like, I know this is some sort of sixth thing going on, and it is right enough. So it's also kind of outlining chords. Again, this is a bit of a music theory rabbit hole I don't want to dive down here, but this kind of sound, it's country's probably a good reference point. You get a lot of sixths in country music, so if something sounds a bit kind of country, there's a good chance it's doing sixths. So if I had to listen to the solo, I've got a rough idea of what's going on. It's not the most exciting thing, so I might change it up a bit, but it does fit the song really quite well, so I don't want to go mad. I'm starting off. So this bit I need to have a closer listen to. It's either going, or I'm not too sure which. There's a little, along those lines. I'll tidy it up a bit later. And then we've got back to the thing. So I might change this here and put in a callback to the bit from before. So it's a bit like the thing we had before, but it's slightly reharmonized here. Then there's a really cool thing he does where he goes down the different inversions of D. Play that a bit cleaner. And I really like that bit, so I'm definitely keeping that in. And then this sounds more or less like they're just kind of going up an A. But I want to change this a little bit because I think I can leave the A string ringing as a drone and kind of go up through it and it'll sound quite cool. So it'd be... That's not totally right, I'll need to listen to it again and tidy it up. Then we've got something over the B, which is really nice. It's like this B sus2. So I've got this rough idea of what's going on in the solo. I do need to listen to it and tidy it up. But that's how I'm kind of practicing at it. So at this point, I'm going to go through the song from the start again, up into the solo, black my way through it, and then see if I can get to the end. Okay, so I'm more or less there. It's a bit messy, but I just need to watch out for when it goes back to that kind of riff thing and then the descending bit, because it does that a couple of times. The other thing I'm going to point out here is the version I've got here just fades out at the end. So what I've done is I've looked at a couple of live versions to see how they end it live, because that's what I'll kind of go with. And that's also a good thing to do if you're practicing a song, because you'll probably play it quicker live, and the band you've taken it from probably play it quicker live as well. So if you play along to a live recording, it can help you get the speed and feel a bit better than a recording from the studio. So at this point I'm fairly confident that I've got the first song more or less in the bag. Obviously I want to practice it and tidy it up. The second song is pretty much there. I do need to make sure I know the solo a bit better and make sure I'm counting the bars off in the verse. That last one, really need to tidy up the solo because I've not spent too much time on that. But this is just kind of a first session, so I'm quite happy with the progress. Not the most efficient way to do things, but I find this way works quite well for me. Like I said, I might explore some different ways and compare how much time it takes me to learn things like from memory, because card sheets are good, they're great, but I sometimes rely on them too much when I do them. So this jumping between the song things is something I've quite often done, and I wasn't too sure if it was a good learning method or not. I've concluded for me it more or less is, because there was an interview Troy Grady did with, I want to say it was either Martin Miller or Andy Wood. I think it was Andy Wood. And he was saying when he learned something, if he started to kind of not, say he was doing like a scale exercise or something, or some sort of drill, when he started noodling and playing something different, he'd just go, okay, well, I've had enough of that, my mind's wandering, I'll go on to something else. And that for me is kind of why I'm changing about the songs a bit, because I'll get kind of stuck in one and then I'll start to forget things and I'll get a bit bored of it, my mind will wander and stuff. But changing between them, provided I'm not overloading myself, it seems to work out quite well for me. And I suppose that's just kind of years of learning songs and kind of working out a process that for the most part works. So this thing of learning things in a batch of 2 or 3 does work quite well for me. Anyway, it'd be cool to hear if you guys have kind of different approaches to learning songs and all the things that I'm doing massively wrong here. Do let me know in those comments. But yeah, cheers. If you've enjoyed this, give us a like, check out some other videos I've done. If you're not subscribed, hit that button there, that'd be great. And cheers guys.